All righty, thank you so much. All right, welcome to the Human Rights Commission meeting for September. And I'm going to find my agenda. And so the first thing we'll have is the call of the roll, please.
Chair Deborah Cook.
Present.
Commissioner Guadalupe Gamboa. Commissioner James Moore.
Present.
Commissioner Jeff Spey.
Present.
Executive Director Sharon Ortiz.
Present.
Deputy Director Cheryl Strobert.
Present.
Assistant Attorney General Sharon James.
Present, and I'm on the phone and on Skype.
Okay. Is anyone
I'm on
else
the 253 number?
Okay.
Great.
Is anyone else present on the line?
Yes, Quinn Snow.
Yeah, we can begin.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome to the meeting, everyone. Let's continue on with the minutes for August 26th. And are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? And if none, I would accept a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
This is Jeff Spey, so moved.
Thank you.
Second, this is Jim Moore.
Thank you. All right, all in favor of accepting the minutes as proposed, say aye.
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 And any opposed? All right, thank you very much. That takes care of that. And excellent. The next item on the agenda is the case closures, where were lots of cases, and there were no cases pulled, I believe, is the case.
Chair Cook, since we've last spoke and it was late, we've pulled one case. And
okay.
Celine, can you read the name of the case that's been pulled from the agenda?
It's Vargas Vitris versus Chelan Fruit.
All righty. Okay. Is there any other discussion on the cases? Hearing none, then I would accept a motion to accept the case closures as submitted with the one pulled case included.
This is Jeff Spey, so moved.
Thank you.
And Jim Moore, second.
Thank you. And all in favor of accepting that?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Thank you. Good work on the cases, lots of cases. All right, Sharon, Executive Director reporting, please.
So, well, we've been working on the contract, and that's one reason why you saw so many cases, and we believe we've done well and will meet the contract number with EEOC. A big thanks to Cheryl for heading that up and managing that contract. It's a big one. So I've been working more on enforcement than anything right now, and all things COVID, because we're getting slammed with COVID everything. Because at first everybody thought that, because the governor has the mandate about vaccines, they thought that we were processing the exemptions. And Illinois was sending people to us, and we got that kind of straightened out. And then we've just been getting hit with people wanting to file complaints and that sort of thing. We're tracking everything to see what we're getting. And John should be able to put together some charts and graphs with the numbers. But I think our position, though, is pretty much, if it's a governor's mandate, we're going to start referring those cases to the EEOC because it's a conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest. And we talked, Laura and I met with the Civil Rights Unit about some of this stuff. So that's kind of the position. Sharon, I haven't had to talk to you for a while about any of this stuff, but we have things going on. Then, the backlog is weighing very heavy on both Cheryl and I. It has been putting pressure on us because we do have a backlog of approximately 92 housing cases. But Cheryl did the math, and 69 of those cases came directly from HUD. So we are, our backlog is our main concern. One step I've taken is that I have hired a temporary investigator that used to work here and is very sharp. His name's Ramon Alvarez, and he's going to be taking over Jeremy's caseload and that's another thing I've had on my plate is that Jeremy has moved on to a different job, and he had a caseload of 47 cases, and what to do with those cases, because they can't go back to the bottom of the backlog. So Ramon's going to start with that caseload, and in between we've settled a few of them and closed a few of them that Jeremy's left. We have recruitment open right now for Spokane, Yakima, and Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's about it. It's, the decision packages went in this month. It's the budget packages. I asked for 4 investigators, 2 managers, and then retirement buyouts for Cheryl and I.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other thing with this backlog is that we're getting lots of complaints, and some of the complaints are coming in from elected officials. And my response has been really that, this should not be a surprise, because for so many years we have been telling you that this backlog is snowballing and we're not getting the funding. And it's snowballed now to where it's ugly. So hopefully we will get that money. We'll work really hard, and I will work really hard with whoever the new director is to advocate for that money.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there questions for Sharon?
This is Jeff Spay. I have one question. The budget issues that you're referring to, Sharon, are those for the next legislative session, or is there something that we're tapping into in the meantime that can cover these shortfalls?
Well, right now, that's why we're tracking the COVID in case we need to ask for some sort of proviso money for that. It would have to be from the governor's office, but it's for our next legislative session. And
right.
We go through this in the past and we get a little bit back, but during the recession, we were cut 48% more than any other agency, and it took a toll on us. When I first started with the agency, we had 60 employees, and now we have 25 employees. And trying to cover the whole state, that's just impossible without a backlog. And I think, the public, they don't understand, and I should say most of our stakeholders don't understand the volume of cases we deal with. Right now, we have almost 800 pending cases. That's a lot of complaints for the few investigators we have. So, I'm committed to keep working on it. And I think, we're meeting and we're strategizing about how to get rid of the backlog, because I'd really like to see it at least cut in half before a new person comes on.
Right. That's a pretty discouraging place to begin.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah, and people also, I think, don't really totally understand. I mean, even though we do get some external contracts to cover some cases, it still doesn't offset the amount of work, that's really here. And COVID has really taken a toll on all that, since there are so many issues people have around the requirements and
the last budget session was very, very different, because it was it was July 2020 when they were talking about the budget, and we had to do budget exercises of at least a 15% cut to our agency, which would have actually devastated us and put us out of business.
Yeah.
So the budget submittals for last year were all really begging not to get cut, and what it would do to the agency to cut us in any area. Our budget is almost all salaries and benefits. We don't buy a pencil without pre-approval and a lot of scrutiny. So it was frustrating, because then, after the budget stuff was submitted, then the economy kind of turned around too. So, I'm confident that people will hear us because I'm making it known, and all of you, it'll be really important next year to contact your legislators, even if it's virtually.
Right. Right. We need to really actually organize this time a real campaign and deal with this in a good way, I think.
Because all of you are new. I mean, even Deborah, you haven't been on for very long, but it's been a problem for years that commissioners go up on the Hill and get us that money that we need. Or, you can't go up on the Hill now really because of COVID, but it's kind of disappointing to the agency because commissioners have a lot of, you have a lot of power. And so I'm not trying to, none of you were commissioners at the time.
Right.
So.
Right. But it is something we need to strategize about, and especially as we'll have a new director coming in, it's a good time for us to really look at how do we want to strategize and position ourselves and where do we want to be. So more to come, I think, on that.
Yeah. So other than that, it's just been the normal meetings and normal paperwork and the normal reports that have to go into the state and the feds.
Let's move on to the recruitment update, and let's see. Our position is not posted yet, right? I thought it was, but it doesn't look like it is.
No, she wants to. She sent me the link to it and everything, and I thought it was posted, but we're meeting at 10:30 today to finalize it. So
okay.
So it will be posted, and then this is a thought I had. So because we can't work all together on this. And Sharon, we're really going to have to turn to you on how we conduct the interviews because there would be a quorum. But my thoughts were to add Jim to this to the little and make a little committee to review the applications. And I'm volunteering you, Jim, because you're a state employee and you understand how that all works.
I always appreciate being volunteered for things.
This way you don't have to figure out on your own what to do, right?
That's fine.
So then after we screen them, we'll share the applicants with all the commissioners and then look to Sharon about guidance on how we conduct the interviews because they might be virtual, but they most likely will be virtual. So that's about where we're at right now.
So this is good though. We are definitely moving forward. I've been pretty nervous about this. I'm still really hoping that once we get this out on the road and begin to receive applicants that we can, my goal still is that we will be able to bring that person on in January. And so obviously if they have to relocate or anything like that, they're going to need the time in December to do that. So I am still hoping that we're nearing the end of September. And so we need to be able to conduct those interviews by the end of November to make this work. So any questions or discussion about the recruitment process right now? Okay. All right. Any commissioner reporting? I have a little bit of it. Last time we mentioned that there had been some discussion in previous time before COVID started with the Washington Council of the Blind and some other disability advocacy groups regarding the accessible prescription labeling and whether we might want to consider activity to include that as part of the requirements of RCW 4960. Since that time, actually without any provocation from us, the Washington Council of the Blind made some contacts with both the Equity Commission and also the Pharmaceutical licensing board, and has begun some activities with both of those organizations toward this end. And so I'm meeting with the legislative group of the Washington Council of the Blind early in October, and I'm also attending with them a meeting at the end of this month. I actually think it's next week. It would have to be, I guess, if it's the end of this month. But sometime toward the end of this month, I can't remember the date, with some of the people from the Equity Commission to find out what role, if any, they'd be able to take in this activity. So it's something that has occurred in several states, but it's occurred as a legislative action. So whether that is the route that this group ends up going, or whether they're able to figure out ways to incorporate it into existing RCW, which was one of the things that we had been talking about here. So whether those, what of those seem to be the most appealing or the most useful, is something that we will continue to look toward to see how or if it's appropriate that we would be involved, or could be involved in this at all. So I will keep you posted, but that's actually taken a little bit of action that wasn't even expected. So that was good.
Hi, this is Lupe.
Hey, good.
Sorry, I was late logging in. I continue to have problems. I tried to log in through Skype and it didn't work, and I lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
Maybe afterwards somebody can set me up with whoever does Skype to give me a training, because it's anyway. I have some reporting, but I talked to Blanca Rodriguez from Columbia Legal Services, and I have been asked to do a presentation on the history of the struggle to gain rights for farm workers in this state, because I've been involved since the 1970s in this issue. At that point, workers were systematically excluded from all the other protective legislation in the state of Washington on the myth, that small growers who were small and they couldn't afford to have workers have any rights, put them out of business. Anyway, so I'm gonna be doing a presentation along with other people that have been involved in the struggle next the 29th, and it doesn't involve employment discrimination per se, but on an individual level, but more on a systemic level, of how workers are just completely treated as second-class citizens. And so it should be very interesting. We're going to talk about how workers got basic protections such as water in the fields, rest breaks, end of child labor, unemployment insurance, workers' comp, protection against pesticides. Stuff that the commission doesn't treat individually,
Right.
Or it treats individually, but not, systematically. So that should be very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Any other commissioner reporting?
I don't have anything to report. This is Jim Moore.
Thanks. Sure. Thanks, Jim. All right.
Same here, Jeff Spay, nothing to report.
Great. All right. Thanks. Okay. Okay, then let's move along. And the next item on our agenda is the AG update. Sharon, do you have anything new for us there?
No, I don't have anything, but it sounds like, Sharon, you and I should probably get together, because there are some things that we need to discuss. So that's all I have.
Yeah, we need to figure definitely out about this recruitment piece so we can operate in an appropriate way there, but get it done. We got to get it done, yes. So that's great. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sharon and I raised the issue of one of the cases this week dealing with a worker that was was not hired because the employer found out that she had become legalized, and when she had first applied with the employer, she was not legal, and so like thousands of other farm workers used a false name and social security number, and then when she told the employer she had gotten her documents and social security, he fired her on the basis that she had given false documentation
Right.
11 years previously, and the reason that the employer gave that doesn't really pass the last test, in my opinion, because the majority of farm workers work under assumed names because of the broken immigration system. So I think, Sharon and I talked about referring this to the AG's office to look.
I've already done that, Lupe. I already asked it to be sent over there.
Yeah, we also have to discuss an analysis of how do we handle these cases. It involves incredible policy issues, and we have to look at it carefully, because if this woman isn't covered, then the new law outlawing discrimination on the basis of immigration status is meaningless, because the employers would just say, well, we fired her because she gave us false information. And it could be a recipe for disaster, because they could use that excuse for anybody they wanted to get rid of.
Well, I think in her instance, she was trying to apply for the same job where other people quit and then just come back as a new person. So I don't know how Chelan Fruit, if they use E-Verify or not, but I'm just going by the guidance that we have. So I have already asked that it be sent over to Colleen, and I sent her an email too about it.
Yeah,
we'll see.
The guidance actually, it does mention that people can be fired for using false documentation, but it has to be applied equally, and we didn't really, I didn't see any evidence.
Well, in complaint, it said that other people that work there have done the same thing and still work there. So we'll let Colleen look at the file and decide what we need to do, because I'm just here to advocate for justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they say. Okay. All right. So the next item on our agenda is public comment. Do we have any public comment at this time? Okay. Lacking that, I would like to ask if we can change the date or the time or something of our next meeting. It is currently set for, we're actually going to need to plan for November and December as well here. I'm willing to do that at the next meeting, except that might be too tight for the November meeting. I'm not sure. But we normally change the meetings so that we don't have one on Thanksgiving. We seem to have a propensity to not want to do that. And we might need to change the meeting for December as well. But I'm needing to request that we not meet at 9:30 on October 28th. I could meet the same day if we wanted to keep it on that day. I could meet any time after 2:30, but I have a commitment I can't move in the morning that will take into early afternoon. Or we could meet the week before if that was people's preference. The reason I mentioned November and December is that we probably will move the November meeting to the week before. So, there's kind of a precedent for doing that if we wish. But what is the preference of both the staff and commissioners regarding an alternative on October 28th?
So I know this is Jim Moore. I'm fairly flexible on the 28th, so I'm happy to move it to another time. But if that doesn't work for other people, you can look at the previous week.
Okay. Yeah, my
Yes.
personal preference is to move it to another time on that day, but I am very, very open. I can do either one.
I think that would work better for staff because they already have, we send out deadlines to them
Yes,
in
right.
advance. So.
Right. Okay. So what
Yeah.
time after 2:30 on the 28th would we like to meet? Is it better to do it in the later part of the day, like 4 or something, or what is actually better for particularly commissioners?
Earlier in the day works better for me,
Okay.
like 2:30 or 3.
Now the other thing is that I could meet way early. I mean, I could meet like at 8, but I'm assuming people don't want to do that.
I don't mind.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay, that goes on the table then as well, because as long as I am done by, as long as I am done by about 9, and we usually don't take more than an hour to meet. I realize we'll be getting, closer into our deliberations around the executive director, but we may not be doing that inside a meeting. So, I mean, that may be in a different, or could be in a different format. So, so I think we could still work with an hour. So if the preference was to meet at 8 on the 28th, I'm open for that.
I can do
That works
8
better for
o'clock.
me.
Okay. So is the 28th at 8 okay for staff?
It's okay for me. I don't know about others. Celine?
That's fine for me too.
Okay. And others? Anyone else? Sharon, James, is that okay for you?
Yep, that works for me.
Okay, then let's do that. It's just a one-time thing, and I will appreciate it so much. We'll meet on the 28th of October at 8 a.m. And having no additional business, we will adjourn the meeting, and we will have our next meeting on October 28th.
Do we want to make sure,
Thank you very much.
Chair Cook, do we quickly want
yes.
to set the November, December dates so that we could get them?
Yeah,
to the
let's go ahead and do that, because we really have to do it anyway. And the problem is that when we do it at the October meeting, we sometimes run really afoul trying to get that November meeting set. So normally what we do for the November meeting is move it forward 1 week. But again, I'm open to other ideas.
That's kind of
I know
the
you do
only
have,
option.
issues for staff and reporting.
No, that's the only option, really.
So shall we move Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so then I'm going to recommend that we move the November meeting forward 1 week. And I'm not looking at the calendar, but I think that's like the 18th, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then the December meeting would normally fall on the 23rd of December. And were I still employed, I would have been working that day, so it wouldn't have mattered to me. But do we want to move the December meeting forward 1 week as well, or is the 23rd okay?
That seems to make sense because that's a month between deadlines.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, all right. So then that is how we will go for November and December.
So December, we moved it to the 16th. Is that what I
Yes.
heard? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. That will be the 16th. And so then that will take care of us through the end of the year, and then we go back to normal in January. It's all fine. So, okay. Thank you very much. We've got all that. I appreciate that very much. All right. So, anything else that I've missed? All right, then the meeting will be adjourned, and I thank you.